Being a web-based platform, Polarr Next often raises questions about how edits are saved and how AI styles are stored. If you're curious about data and persistence on Polarr Next, you're in the right place. Let's dive into the most frequently asked questions. Why am I seeing permission requests? When you import a project in Polarr Next, you might see permission requests. Since Polarr Next is browser-based, it follows Chrome's safety measures, requiring explicit file system permissions for any folder being imported. These permissions ensure that all your edits in Polarr Next are non-destructive and that your original raw files remain untouched. Does Polarr Next have project catalogs? Yes. When you create and edit a project, Polarr Next generates a .catalog file and a .style file in each of your folders on your device. These files contain information about your AI styles, edits, and more. Deleting a catalog file will erase all edit histories for your project. What is the difference between a .catalog and a .style file? Polarr Next stores all your edits and AI style training data locally on your device. The catalog file contains the editing history for each individual photo, while the .style file includes the training data used by your AI style. If these files are missing or deleted, Polarr Next will prompt you to recreate them when reopening a project. What is the difference between a .preset file and a .style file? A .preset file is similar to a Lightroom preset, allowing you to save your adjustments as a static preset to apply to photos. In contrast, a .style file contains the AI style for a project, including the training data from your reference edits. In the editing panel of Polarr Next, you can create your own preset by making adjustments, then clicking on the plus icon and selecting Create Preset. Once created, you can export your preset as a .preset file by right-clicking on your preset and selecting Export Preset. This file can be imported back into Polarr Next for future projects. For each active project in Polarr Next, a .style file is automatically saved to the folder of your raw photos you imported. This file tracks all your reference edits from current and previous projects and is saved automatically to the imported project folder on your disk. How does importing a .style file work? Importing a .style file allows you to use an AI style from a previous project or lets another Polarr Next user apply your AI style to their projects. The .style file provides flexibility in managing and version controlling your AI styles. How does .style file versioning work? Each time you use or update an AI style, the associated .style file in the project folder is updated. Let me explain a little bit more in depth. A .style file is first created when you create your first project. As you mark more reference edits, that same .style file is updated in the folder of raw photos you've just imported. When you decide to use a previous style for a new project, Project B, the previous version of the .style file is copied or forked to your new project folder as a new version. As you mark more references in Project B, that .style file is updated accordingly. If you create a new project, Project C, and want to use the AI style from Project A, you can select the AI style in Project A and a new copied version of that style will be saved. As you continue to make more adjustments with reference edits, the .style file for that project will continuously update. This process happens automatically as you choose to use new or different AI styles for your projects, requiring no manual work to save these different versions. This allows you to have multiple versions of a style as it evolves with reference edits from future projects. For instance, if you create a fourth project, Project D, and reuse the same AI style as Project C, the .style file from Project C is forked over to your Project D folder and will automatically update as you work on improving your AI style. How do I uninstall Polarr Next? As a browser app, Polarr Next doesn't require traditional uninstallation. Simply delete any .catalog and .style files from your project folders and clear out your browser cache to remove Polarr Next completely. If you've downloaded the Polarr Next Progressive Web App or PWA from either the Microsoft Store or directly from the Google Chrome browser, simply go to Settings and then Add Remove Programs and find the Polarr Next app. Click the three dots and click Uninstall. Do I lose my progress if my browser crashes? No, Polarr Next saves all progress in the .catalog and .style files within your project folder locally. If the browser or system crashes, you can reopen Polarr Next, access your project, and continue from where you left off. What happens if I lose internet connection? Polarr Next requires an internet connection to launch or export photos, but losing your connection during use won't affect your session until you try to export photos. Without an internet connection, you cannot launch Polarr Next. Does Polarr Next upload my photos to a server? Your photos are never uploaded to a server. Even though your photos appear inside the browser, they remain stored locally. Polarr Next stores your AI styles and edits data locally as a .catalog and .style file in your project folder. These files enable Polarr Next to restore your editing sessions' previous state when reopening projects. Only your account and payment information are synced to our server. Do I keep my copyrights for photos edited by Polarr Next? Yes, you retain full copyrights of all edited photos. Polarr Next does not hold any rights to your photos. I hope this video answered your questions about Polarr Next data and persistence. If you have any other questions, drop them in the comments below or send us an email. Our email's in the description below. Happy editing.